I can remember that guy. We was up there on where the farm was. Well, we went first up there to Addie. And Dad had to go to town the first day we were going to haul hay. And we took this old wagon and we went out over the hill and picked up the hay, and Dad was taking the cream and him and Mom in the truck.
They took me that time. I got to go. I don't know why, but I got to go.
We took the team and went out and loaded this load of hay, and we got it loaded up, and Pete was up on top, and he had the fork stuck in the hay just like this. And we was bouncing along going in, and I was driving the horses, and pretty soon he started screaming and hollering, and I looked back, and I thought that dumb kid's in trouble again, and turned around, and here the top of it all slid off, and he went down head first like this, see, and the hay was all laying down there, all the top of the load. And I got out there and I dug him out, and here he was. He's laying on that pitchfork, and the pitchfork went through here. It was on the right side. It went through his lung and through here. And I rolled him over, and I had a heck of a time pulling that pitchfork out of there. And I put him back on the wagon, and I hauled him in. They took a car. That was it. They took the old car, and the old truck was in there.
You had to pull the pitchfork out of the ground first. The handle was one
yeah, he created a lot of work.
Up on top of it.
Anyway, I hauled him in there and got him in the truck, and I met Dad down at Blue Creek, and he turned around and took him back to the hospital. And then it went on he lived through that one, and about 3 years later, we was living up above up by the lake, and we was working over on Kelly Hill, and we was building a derrick and setting it up to haul hay. We used to pull it on a slide and up with the slings and derrick, and hadn't even hauled the loads yet. Here we were setting the derrick up, and Dad was pulling up the horses, and Pete was on one straight line, and I was on the other, and we was getting this one thing come up, then we had to tie her off on a couple of stakes, bull lines. We had bullheads down there, and the thing got away from him, and Pete didn't let go of his, and the rope went through his hand and took the hide off of both hands all the way through there. And he got out of farming again. He never hauled another load of hay all year. Twice he got out of it by just goofing himself up.
Well, back to that thing on that bicycle here at Electric City. Was I the responsible for the broken gooseneck? I remember.
Well, you could have been. I don't know. You guys just used my bike.
I remember taking Bill's bike and going down to Osborne to visit a friend, and I was also wearing Alma's new red China silk blouse. And then the dang thing went right over the bar ditch and down, and the gooseneck was broken. Alma's blouse was just ripped. I was poking out everywhere where you didn't want to poke out. I remember having to push that poor old broken gooseneck back, and Alma's torn blouse, and I never did go visit the friend.
Janine wants me to tell the rest of the story of when I run that pitchfork through me. I went into the hospital. I don't know. I was there for a few days, but anyway, when I recovered enough so they kicked me out of there, Dad was too busy farming and wouldn't come and get me. I had to walk all the way home.
You're kidding.
From Chewelah up into Summit Valley.
Oh, my word.
Probably hauling hay that day. We'd have time to go after you.
Well, Dad raised alfalfa up on Wheeler Hill, too, because in the wintertime, I can remember the baling, what did they call them?
Baling crew.
The baling crews that we'd feed there.
Oh, boy.
They would have this big stationary baler come, and they hauled the hay. They took the baler to the hay. They'd always have the hay in a big stack that they put up with these big derricks. And then they'd bale it right there at the stack. And I remember all the men that would show up for that we'd have to cook for, and I'd have to help Mother. And in the wintertime, he'd take that down and sell it. And I think that and their milk was what they lived on there in the wintertime. And I remember in those days that when actually it snowed enough that he'd take a team of horses with a big bobsled, a double, with two runners in front and two in the back, and they'd load that thing way high. And I can remember I got to go with him lots of times, and I'd sit up there on top of that thing and ride down. And I remember it was particularly bad for him to haul that hay in when he hurt his eye with that, because he couldn't see good with one eye, and he'd have double vision, and he couldn't see to get on the scales. He'd have to get on the scales down in town to weigh his hay, and he couldn't see to get that on the scales very good. He'd have a terrible time getting that thing on the scales because he couldn't